Note: this article includes Captain Marvel spoilers. Captain Marvel takes us back in time to the 90s, when superheroes weren't a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe landscape in the way they would become in the Avengers era. But when Carol Danvers arrives from outer space, she still finds plenty of cheeky nods to Marvel's comics, as well as tons of delighty period-appropriate details. 1. Stan Lee's cameo. The late Stan Lee is expected to show up in Avengers Endgame, but there's no doubt that his Captain Marvel appearance will be one of his last. In Captain Marvel, Lee is on the train that Carol pursues a skull through. While he's played many characters in his time, from Postman to Alien Barbers, here he is definitely appearing as himself. How do we know that? He's reading the script for Kevin Smith's 1995 movie Mallrats, in which he had a small but significant role as himself. He can be heard practicing his iconic line, "Trust me, true believer." The film also begins with a special, Stan Lee-themed tribute version of the Marvel logo, to Monica Rambeau. Marvel Comics actress Akira Akbar plays Monica, the daughter of Carol's old friend and USAF colleague Maria Rambeau, in the movie. Comics fans will tell you that she is another Captain Marvel. She actually beat Carol to the role in the comics by a long shot, becoming Marvel's second Captain Marvel way back in 1982. She became a superhero after exposure to alien energy allowed her to transform into different forms of electromagnetic radiation. Fingers crossed that the MCU has more plans for her in the future. 3. Dr. Lawson. Marvel Studios' Annette Bening's character reveal was one of the biggest surprises in the film. She is playing a gender-swapped version of the original Captain Marvel, Marvel. But if you were really on the ball, you might have seen it coming, as she is originally introduced as military scientist Dr. Wendy Lawson. The comic book Marvel took on the identity of the late Dr. Walter Lawson when he arrived on Earth, meeting Carol herself shortly afterwards. 4. Kelly Sue DeConnick. John Lamparski. Getty Images. Carol makes quite an impression when she arrives on Earth. One person who can be seen giving her an odd look in the train station is comics writer Kelly Sue DeConnick. DeConnick wrote the first comic series to feature Carol as Captain Marvel. She had spent years as the superhero Ms. Marvel, which launched back in 2012.5. Project Pegasus. Carol and Marvel were involved in the mysterious military operation Project Pegasus when they were working together. It continued to experiment with the Tesseract after the 90s, as it featured in the Avengers, when it was infiltrated by Loki and eventually blown sky high. 6. Lieutenant Trouble. Marvel Comics. Carol has a nickname for Monica, calling her Lieutenant Trouble'. In the comics, a little girl called Catherine Kit Renner is known affectionately by that name. Lieutenant Trouble was a big fan of Captain Marvel, whose dreams came true when she and her mother were befriended by her hero. 7. Binary. Marvel Comics. Carol has gone by several superhero titles in her time. She is best known as having been Ms. Marvel for years, but she was also known as Binary for a time after she acquired massive cosmic powers. Her blazing binary look is clearly referenced towards the end of the film when Carol taps into her true potential and uses her powers to stop the Kree's attack on Earth and send them running with their tails between their legs. 8. Yon-Rogg. Marvel Comics. In the course of the movie, we learn that Jude Law's Kree character is Yon-Rogg, a villain connected to the origin of Carol's amazing abilities in the comics. As in the comics, the MCU's Yon-Rogg was present for the explosion that granted her energy powers, although in this case the accident was caused by Marvel's Lightspeed engine and not Yon-Rogg's Psyche Magnetron device. 9. The Skrull homeworld. Marvel Studios fans wondered whether the introduction of the shape-shifting Skrulls in Captain Marvel would lay the foundation of the MCU's take on Secret Invasion, a storyline in which Earth is revealed to have been deeply infiltrated by the pointy-eared aliens. While the events of the film make that appear less likely, the revelation that the Skrull homeworld was destroyed is a nod to Secret Invasion, as in that story the planet's destruction was the catalyst for their attempt to conquer Earth. 10. Retro outfit. Marvel Comics. When Carol allows Monica to play with the colors of her suit, she pauses at one point on a snazzy green and white design. This is a nod to the classic colors worn by Kree warriors, including Marvel, even if the movie gets more gritty with Star Force's dark green standard issue costumes. 11. Naming the Avengers. Just think, but for a twist of fate we would have had the Protectors instead of the Avengers. Okay, well maybe not, but the film ties Captain Marvel's legacy into Marvel's premier super team when Fury spots Carol's USAF call sign, Avenger, and decides to change the name from his new project The Protector Initiative to, you guessed it, the Avengers Initiative '. 12 90s references. Disney. Set in 1995, the film of course features tons of period-appropriate artifacts, beginning with Carol crashing through the ceiling of a blockbuster video, and assassinating a cardboard cutout of Arnold Schwarzenegger from True Lies. There's no way we could list them all, but some favorites included the Alta Vista search engine, a Street Fighter II arcade game in Poncho's bar, and the aforementioned Mallrats script, as well as posters for PJ Harvey's Rid of Me, Rock the Vote, A Bush Gig, and Smashing Pumpkins' Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Then there's the soundtrack, featuring female musicians and female-fronted bands from the era, including Garbage, TLC and No Doubt, although the bass line To Come As You Are did sneak in there. Captain Marvel is out now. We earn a commission for products purchased through some links in this article. Want up to the minute entertainment news and features? Just hit like on our Digital Spy Facebook page and follow on our @DigitalSpy Instagram and Twitter account.